how have you diversified your income streams in order to be able to handle the roller coaster life of an artist?
Yeah, it's not easy, as you know. Doing workshops, doing commissions here and there. Commissions were really tough for me over the years. I do
Mhm.
them every once in a while, but I had different, uh, different rules about how I handle it. I need to have complete freedom. Um, and selling sketches and and other little things like that. But workshops is a pretty big. That's a pretty big thing, and and I highly recommend people keeping that if you're doing workshops, keep doing workshops, even if you start to sell everything you paint in the galleries. Keep the workshops. Keep that extra revenue stream always humming. I made a mistake. I I I stopped for a while, and I shouldn't have. And I'm starting back over these past few years of teaching and everything else, and now that I have a new studio here, I'll be teaching out of here and bringing people from out of state and then locally, and also doing some little videos from around the mountains here and other things, and doing some online stuff. But uh, but I just think it's so important um, to have that extra thing going on in the background, you know, because it's a roller coaster ride, and even whenever you're selling everything you paint, you're not always going to sell everything you paint. You're going to have some dry spells, but if you have a good engine humming in the background, uh, that's that would be a wise choice.
For sure, for sure. And I think also like, if and I believe you mentioned that you do this, if you have any small studies,
Yeah,
right, that you can sell on your own through social
yeah.
media or
Yeah, I have a little category on my website that I do little rounds of whatever things I have in the studio that I've never put in the gallery. Um,
Mm.
but it might be interesting for some people because it might be some experiments that I'm working on. But they're good, they're good pieces, but they're not anything I'm going to show in a gallery.
Right.
But sometimes I put those things out there. So
Yeah. 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 And then another important aspect, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but how have you maintained your relationship with collectors? Like, how have you navigated that? And then what would you recommend for someone to do to maintain those relationships?
man, um, my collectors, there's a lot of them they have turned into like family members
Oh.
and really, really special people in my life. And, obviously, carve out some time, make a phone call,
Mm.
and catch up with them. Send some emails just to, let them know you're thinking about them, or share them with them with some new stuff you're working on or whatever. It makes me nervous sometimes because I don't want to like be too business-like, where it's like I don't want to have them all like on a I mean, you can definitely do that if you want to give them information about the shows you got coming up. You have your email list of all your collectors.
Mm.
You can put it out there and just show them. But the more the other types of just communication is just not trying to push a sale. You know, it's like your friends and they're taking care of your babies,
Yeah.
so it's pretty special. And so I try not to be too business-like and just you have a friendship.
Yeah.
So, but there is a place for doing all the email newsletters and things like that.
Mhm.